Join me right now, back on the show, is unblemished flyweight contender, Brogan Walker Sanchez. How you doing, Brogan?
Great. Half a day. Glad to be back on.
Definitely. I just saw that you received your jiu-jitsu black belt. Did you expect that to happen?
No, this happened last night, like hours ago. It's still setting in. I got promoted with three of my teammates that I've been training for or with for almost a decade. Uh, it's crazy. I'm so stoked. Like I said, it's still setting in. But I'm so proud to rep a black belt with my team and to represent my team and continue displaying my jiu-jitsu.
You're at the end of your camp, getting your black belt. It must kind of give you this extra boost of confidence in your skills, right?
I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, because the belt itself signifies so much. But really, for me, it feels like it's motivating. Like, I really have to step it up now. I always conducted myself like a black belt because, that's not the ultimate goal, but it's definitely one of the goals for me. So, you got to act the way you want to be. So I've been acting that way. I've been conducting myself like a black belt, and it feels good to finally be there. And now that I'm there, I have the realization that I need to step it up even more. And so it's a little bit of pressure, a lot of motivation, and a lot of good vibes. It feels really good going into this fight, knowing that I earned that. Nothing at this academy. I'm actually at the academy right now. I just finished an hour and a half of strength and conditioning and an hour of Muay Thai. My student here. Say hi, Elsa.
Hello.
Little rocker Muay Thai. But yeah, like I said, it feels motivating and it feels good to know that I had that inside of me and that's they're not gifts, they're earned. So I'm really proud and really happy.
You're returning from a 15-month absence. Many people are wondering, what have you been doing throughout that whole time? Can you give us some insight?
So funny. Yeah. So I get this every time. I get this every pre-fight interview because since my Invicta debut, I've only been fighting once a year. And I know that a lot of people, they stay on the competition side and, but for me, it's hard due to where I live. I used to fight in the promotion here in the Pacific, but it's been difficult since Pacific Extreme Combat hasn't been doing any promotions lately. So ever since I signed with Invicta, it's kind of difficult for me because I need a lot of time to plan. Everyone needs a full camp, but I need a lot of time to plan to make sure everything's set here at home. Because in addition to training, I teach Muay Thai here at the academy during the week, and I'm also a first grade teacher. So I have 21 students of my own. And, they're one of my big priorities. I always keep training a priority in my life, but those pipsqueaks are my priority now. So everything's set for them for next week when I'm off island fighting. And I'm totally prepped. I've been prepping for a long time. Even though it's been a long layoff, this summer was such a grind for me. Like I said, I'm a teacher, so I was off all summer. And I was in contact with Invicta trying to get a fight during the summer because I'm off. They didn't have anything for me. And so I was kind of sad. I thought, okay, I'm going to have to go back to work. I'm not going to be able to take off. But luckily, my principal is very understanding, very supportive, and she helped me make this possible, getting me coverage and making sure that I'm ready to go. And like I said, I've been planning. So over the summer, I trained breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Like I just woke up and trained and then ate and trained and napped and trained and trained and trained and trained, thinking that I would get a fight over the summer. It didn't happen, but it happened, shortly after. And I'm ready. I was on the ball, ready to go, and it feels great.
I saw that they
Just
had you lined up for a fight in July, right? And then what happened with that?
I think it was prior to July. Prior to July, I was so just to back it up a little, I my last fight with Miranda Maverick, I that whole training camp I worked through an injury, and I actually re-injured my ankle second round, beginning of the second round. So I that fight was rough for me. It was still unanimous decision, but it was kind of a serious injury. If you rewatch the fight at the beginning of the second round, when she took me down, I was slow on that takedown, and I re-injured that ankle. I felt kind of funny on my ankle. It instantly popped, started swelling in the fight, and it had that like weak kind of dangly feel to it. But I pushed through it, and yeah, that injury is long gone, but it was kind of poking its ugly head up since then. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very impressive win over Miranda Maverick. Because if you look at what Miranda Maverick is doing now, she's
Shoot.
pretty much
It's a
one of the
killer.
top. Yeah, she's a killer, right? And you beat
Yeah.
her, with an
Yeah. We're,
injury.
we're
So
friends now. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the flyweight division? While it's been
Yeah.
going on.
I watched that series. Miranda did great, man. She handled it, put everyone, you know, like I said, she's a killer. She's aggressive. Um, she really, really pushed me in that fight, and it was a good test for me. It was a good stepping stone to where I am now. I think that I'm really good about rising to the occasion and stepping it up. So it was going to be another test for me, and I'm super stoked. I feel great, by the way. At the beginning of this camp, when I thought I was fighting over the summer, I took a max VO2 test, and I was off the charts, like superior when I started at my fight camp. So at the beginning of my fight camp, my cardio was amazing, and yeah, I got that done at one of my sponsors, CrossFit, here on Guam. And I was gonna say that also my doctor was really impressed when I got my physical. He's just listening to my heart, and he goes, "Whoa!" And I'm like, "What? What?" And he's like, "Your heartbeat is very, very good, very strong, very slow." And I'm like, "Okay, good." So I know that my body's tip top, and I feel great.
Now, for this upcoming fight, you said you've been training hardcore through the whole summer. Who are some of the people that you've been working with, like as in training partner wise? Because Guam is a small island.
It is. It is. Um, but on another note, as of last night, Purebred Jiu Jitsu Academy has 35 black belts, many of which are world champions. Tracy Mantanagi, who just got promoted with me last night, is 5-time Asian Open Jiu Jitsu champion. She just got back from Tokyo. Trained with her and the other 34 black belts here. We had a nice long 2-week camp with Gabriel Souza, which was amazing. I did private lessons with him. And I stay sharp with my husband, who's also an amazing black belt. I got him day in and day out. And what we really tried to focus on this time was just go-to sequences. So the sequences that I found for like my wrestling and my finishes, I've been drilling to the T, and I can find them from almost any position with all of these amazing black belts, and it makes me feel really confident. We don't have like the big names here, but we have some beasts, some grinders, and it feels good to see the level of competition that's here in my gym and know that I can hang with these guys. I can hang with the best. I'm actually here at the academy right now. I skipped jujitsu because I've already trained for like 3 hours this morning, but everybody's here going to town right now, if you can see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looking good. You got some kids there too?
Yeah, the kids are killer too. The kids are beast. You have no idea. Our kids are amazing. Our kids just got the team trophy at the local Mariana's Open tournament.
Awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to your kids, your students,
Hmm.
when you told them that you're gonna leave for a week to go fight, because I have a daughter that's in second grade. I could just only
Okay.
imagine if her teacher told her like, "Hey, I'm leaving and I'm gonna go fight this other girl." What was their
Uh-huh.
reaction?
Well, ever since the start of my career, um, I don't like to use the term fight when
Mhm.
and it's not, or I guess it's not so much that I don't like to use this term. I just like for people to know that that's not exactly what we do. The term fighter is it's a good term, but above all, I'm a martial artist. And so what I told them was that I'm going off island for a competition, martial arts competition, and they're super stoked for me. They're first grade, like I said, so 6 and 7 year olds, and um, I'm a firm believer in physical activity being a big part of our classroom atmosphere. So they help me get in shape even when I'm not. I train an hour and a half in the morning, then I go to work with them, and we're moving around in the classroom, getting that extra work in with them. And then they also help me to not stress out. When they see me stressing out, they're like, "Mrs. Sanchez, just breathe." So, man, I got support coming out of every angle you can imagine. Even my pipsqueaks support me, and they're stoked. I've been preparing them for my absence, so they're set to go. They know that they're going to be working hard because I'm going to be working hard too. And yeah, they're ready to go. I'm ready to go.
All
This
right.
last week always goes by so slow. It always just like
Mm.
creeps by. I'm ready. I'm feeling like superwoman, and I just keep like I'm on edge this whole week. I'm trying to keep my this anticipation, under control.
When you found out that the title fight was off the card and they were moving you
Hmm.
to the main event slot, were you excited about it, or was it just like it doesn't really matter to you? It's just like it's just
No, I
another,
was very excited.
competition.
I was really looking forward to seeing Jinyu Frey. I'm a big fan of her. We fought on the last card that I fought on, Choose on, and she's awesome person, just like a standout individual. And I was excited to have both of our vibes on that card and be there with her and go through it with her. But sucks for her injury, man. I'm praying that she has a speedy recovery because she's just such a beast, and I love to watch her in action. So while I was sad that she, while I was sad that she isn't going to be on the card anymore, I was super stoked to be the main event. It's not the first time I'm the main event, so the pressure I don't think is really going to get to me, but it does excite me more. Like it makes me feel good that I'm at that level where you know it's I guess kind of a big deal. It feels good to know that.
Yeah, you are a big deal because even though you haven't, fought in a long time, I always see messages like on social media like, "Where's Brogan?" Where she hasn't
Yeah,
fought in a while. People are looking
yeah,
for you. They want you to return. Do you
right.
notice that? Do
Yeah,
you get that
I
feeling?
do. People message me too, especially here on Guam. I get a lot of support, so much support. I'm actually with my sponsor right now. Bye, guys.
Shout out to
So,
the sponsor.
yeah, I'm at Synergy Wellness Center. I'm about to get in the sauna over here. It's an infrared sauna, and it's
Okay.
amazing. So, shout out to Synergy. But even just people that don't train and are just MMA fans, they've been messaging me. When are you gonna fight? When are you gonna fight? But people know my style. People know that I like to focus on what's important, which is the training. And while none of my fights have been easy, I feel like every time I step into that ring, I'm just a whole new person. Um, it was a little frustrating working through a injury last time through the camp, and then, like I said, through the actual fight. But So I feel like I didn't get a chance to show the 2.0 version of me last time, even though I still pulled out the win. But I like to show that growth each time. I like people to look at me and look at my last fight and be like, oh, this chick has not just been sitting on her butt, she's been working. And it's those little things that add up that contribute to, my success so far. I'm not only defeated in my professional career, I'm also undefeated in my amateur Muay Thai career. So I feel like I have a lot to lose. I have, it is a lot of pressure, this fight. But like I said, I focus on what's important. And even though people may say that, a year is a lot of time to leave, to be off, that's what I've always done. So
Yeah.
since my first Invicta fight, it's been pretty much a year between every fight. And like I said, I like to show that growth. I like to take it to the next level, and I'm hoping I can do that on Friday.
Pearl Gonzalez, she's a UFC veteran. She's a big name in the organization. What are your thoughts on her as a opponent?
I like to have that caliber of martial artist standing across from me in the cage. I wouldn't have it any other way. Um, I have had my eye on her for a while. I think that they offered, I could be wrong, but I think that they offered me a fight with her. I don't know if it was UFC or Invicta, but a while back we got an offer, and I don't even remember if it was timing or what, but I wasn't able to take, I think maybe it was at 115. And I'm not able to make 115. So, it didn't happen, but she's at flyweight now, and we're finally matched up. So I think it's going to be a great fight. I know that I know that she can be dangerous, standing and on the ground, and I never underestimate my opponent, never. So I know that she's going to bring it, and I'm glad that she's going to bring it.
She, in her last fight, she fought for the title. She didn't, win, but she did well. Do you think that a win over her kind of gives you the right to be next in line for that belt?
Um, I'd like to think so. I never want to get greedy. I want my actions to speak for me. And if they speak loud enough to where they want to offer me a title, I would be absolutely honored and humbled to fight for a title.
We talked about this last time about the UFC. You've had offers to fight for them, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
of the girls, they are moving over to the UFC,
Mm-hmm.
quickly, like from Invicta. Do you
Mm-hmm.
see that in your future, like in your near future?
Yes. Yes. I've been waiting for that. My goals I've been pushing back the dates on my goals
Hmm.
and just grinding away, and just going to make it happen. Yeah. I hope to be on the big stage soon.
You'll get more offers, right, to fight, especially with many cards going on around the world and in Asia.
Yeah, I hope so. I have a friend who's fighting in Ryzen the weekend after me. Yeah, Miyu Yamamoto. So she's getting
Yes.
ready for her fight. And last night, Brandon Vera was here training too. I've had a lot of really amazing training fighters. See, people are coming up that I didn't even think to mention, but we have some crazy talent here. Like I said, Brandon Vera is a big name, and he's preparing for a fight too. He was here
Huge
last
fight.
night. Yeah, he was here for my black belt promotion. So super cool. That guy is just, him and his wifey are the most standout people I've ever met. They are the coolest people. They are so sweet. And they fit right here in Guam. They're like so friendly, just awesome people. So Brandon's
The
looking sharp. He's looking good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy fight right there.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go to that one, so I'm
Yeah,
excited to
right
see
on.
that. Now in the division, right, the flyweight division, Vanessa Porto is the champion. She's gonna defend the flyweight title at the next event, 38.
Yeah.
Um, she's facing Karina Rodriguez. How do you feel? Who do you feel has the edge in that fight?
Um, it's hard to say. I want to say, oh, it's very hard to say, but I would lean towards Porto. Even though Karina, man, I watched her last fight and her hands are her hands are looking sharp. Her hands are looking good. Um, like I said, I might lean more towards Porto as a more well-rounded, and that's really what it comes down to, is being well-rounded and being able to dictate the fight and manipulate where you want your opponent. Do you want your opponent standing? Are you beating them there, or do you need to take them down? And if you don't have the ability to take them down when you need to, that could cost you the fight. So I think that Porto might have the edge there. But man, Karina's a beast too. And I would be humbled to fight either of them.
How do you think you stack up against Porto?
She's a beast, dude. She's a beast. Um, it would be interesting to see, because like I said, the martial artist I am today won't be the martial artist I would become, a challenge against Porto if that does happen. I would have to go back to the drawing board. I would have to get a new POA and stick to it. And that's what I did for this camp. I looked at my strength. I looked at my weaknesses. I sat down with all my coaches. I put the training on the schedule, and then I checked every single one off. Everything that I said I was going to do in training, I did. If I told myself you're going to wrestle for 3 hours a week, additional, in addition to my strength and conditioning, in addition to my Muay Thai and my Jiu-Jitsu and running and all that other things, I focused on wrestling and getting the quick sub this time. And I told myself, there's a price to pay to get into that ring. And if you don't pay up, you're going to pay up, come fight night. So I've been putting that money in the bank every week, training, making the adjustments that I need to. And like I said, over the summer, doing that 2-3 times a day, every day, was intense. It really helped me to evolve. And like I said, I find myself getting to this sequence, and then it's like dominoes. It just goes. It just happens, and I'm getting the tap, and I'm getting it in here, against some crazy martial artists. So it feels good.
All right. Well, October 4th is coming up soon. Invicta FC 37 main event, Kansas City, Kansas. Brogan, hey, it's fun to catch up with you. You are an excellent martial artist. It's always good to pick your brain. And good luck to you on the fight. Good luck to you on your future. And go enjoy that sauna.
Thank you so much. I will. Thank you for having me on again. Really happy to be with you again. And I'll touch bases with you after the fight.